Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best scenes, moments, and storylines from Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3.
Ah, Miss Lane.
Come on, Clark. At this point, everybody knows.
Number 10, Dino Crisis. They certainly did not waste time ramping up the action for this final installment. As a portal stood dormant in Metropolis, we were left wondering what would emerge from the other side. But dinosaurs were not exactly our first guess.
Dinosaur stampede in downtown Metropolis. This is Perry White's ultimate dream headline.
So would the Justice League take the opportunity to reason with their Jurassic guests? Of course not. A beatdown was a more apt welcome. It certainly is a surreal sight to have some of Earth's finest tussle with these beasts, almost like something young DC fans would act out with their action figures back in the day.
Run! Quickly!
But we were not disappointed in the least to see this peculiar dream match.
This is what I get for asking for action.
Number 9, a surprise reunion. While casual fans might not have picked up on this, anyone who's seen the Green Lantern animated series was losing their minds at this reveal.
Who the hell are you?
We are a few of your recruits.
Fans of the show were chomping at the bit to see the eventual reunion between Razor and Aya. The two have been searching for each other for countless years, after all.
I will find you, Aya. I will.
John Stewart had been rendered somewhat useless after sacrificing his Green Lantern ring in the previous film, but thankfully, some of his recruits from distant lands showed up to return his strength.
The Green Lantern Corps was reborn. Others soon joined us.
It's a short but sweet nod that finally gave some closure to one of the animated series' most heart-wrenching storylines.
It would be an honor for me to share my lantern battery with the legendary John Stewart, greatest of the Green Lanterns.
Number 8, Saloon Showdown. When the Justice League must desperately search for John Constantine, there's one obvious place where they might find the occult detective. Somewhere with an ample amount of alcohol for him to drown his sorrows in. However, he didn't pick the friendliest of watering holes.
Let's all settle down.
Their attempts to talk things through with the locals prove futile, and the whole thing descends into a bare-knuckle brawl. The Barflies should have known better than to mess with a group of superheroes, since the whole scuffle is extremely one-sided. Thankfully, Batlash was there to put an end to the fighting before things got too ugly.
What in hell is going on here?
Number 7, Old School. Whenever you're watching a multiverse storyline movie, you know it's going to be rife with cameos.
They've reached one of the isolated Earths. Earth 508.
But one that really caught us off guard was this brief glimpse at Earth 508, which is home to the very retro-looking Super Friends. Unfortunately for them, their cameo comes at the most chaotic point of the film, where all hope seems to be lost. They barely have time to receive a message of their impending doom before they're unceremoniously wiped out for good by the AntiMonitor. Number 6, Lexs Interrogation. During a meeting with some of the most evil minds on Earth, Lex Luthor has to step aside to speak to his prisoner, none other than Psycho Pirate.
Open it.
After everything this scumbag pulled in Part 2, we took some twisted comfort in seeing him reduced to a blubbering mess. Lex knows that he's been orchestrating some of the chaos behind the scenes, and thanks him with some painful shocks courtesy of Electrocutioner.
Once more. Better safe than sorry, right?
All Charles can do is grovel and drool as he gets all the hurt he's caused paid back to him 100-fold. But of course, Lex isn't doing this with simply noble intentions. He has to get something out of it too.
Well, you have a friend I'd like to talk to. I need you to call him for me. It's a long-distance call.
Number 5, The Truth Revealed. We all knew that the multiverse was being wiped out, we just didn't know why. It turns out that John Constantine had something to do with it.
The old planet had been ripped to shreds. Bastard named Darkseid. Never heard of him.
After Darkseid laid waste to Earth, Constantine cast a spell on the Flash to go back in time and rewrite history. This meant destroying the person responsible when they were at their most vulnerable.
Took some doing, but I learned the only time in his life when he'd be vulnerable. The first year.
Even though he knows the consequences, Barry simply can't bring himself to hurt someone that young. But the die is already cast, and just by being present next to him, he puts an early end to Darkseid.
He doesn't even know. He's living poison.
Alas, without the Tyrant around to serve as a deterrent to the other villains in the universe, this set into motion the horrific actions of the Anti-Monitor. Number 4. A New Universe.
I'm sorry, love. This is not a job for Superman.
Wonder Woman's immortality was a big subject in this trilogy, and we knew there must be a reason for it. We just didn't realize it would be as tragic as seeing her sacrifice said life to power a wish that would converge all realities. This wish was the creation of one singular Earth, a prime Earth, that would only contain one of each hero.
What happens to me in there?
A mystery. Superman will be there, and part of him will be you.
Our heroes knew this was the only option available that would stop the incoming onslaught of over 10,000 anti-monitors. While the future is both daunting and uncertain, as our heroes part ways, they share words of optimism, believing in the endless possibilities of tomorrow in this new world.
It has been an honor, Batman. I hope we meet again.
Number 3. Bat Family versus the Third Reich.
Here they come.
Who doesn't enjoy a good old-fashioned Nazi pummeling? We take a brief moment of reprieve from the world-ending threats to see how the Bat Family is getting along after their big bust-up in the previous movie. It seems they've put their differences aside and must now team up to defeat an army of Nazi soldiers. Though you'd expect this to easily go the family's way, to even the odds, the soldiers are equipped with weapons that belong to Batman's rogues gallery.
What even is this?
This means that everything from Harley's hammer to Bane's venom tank are now in the hands of the villainous infantrymen. It's nothing Bruce Wayne's loved ones can't handle, of course.
Don't freak out, Bats. They're still alive.
More or less.
Number 2. Anti-Monitor Defeated.
If only we had some kind of living solar battery who could absorb, contain, and deliver that energy.
The battle with the Earth-erasing entity known as the Anti-Monitor seemed like an insurmountable one, but Luthor has a plan. By harnessing the energy of all 52 suns present, they could essentially use Superman as a living weapon capable of bringing down the giant threat.
This isn't the answer.
It's exactly the answer. I killed the Monitor, not you.
Superman is more than willing to take on the task, but he's outsped by Kara, who wishes to atone for what she did to the Monitor. After an opening is made by Warworld, she charges into the gaping wound and unleashes the full force of the accumulated power, putting a stop to the Anti-Monitor. But the cost was great, as Supergirl's life was sacrificed in order to save her comrades. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kevin Conroy's Goodbye.
I'm afraid the Anti-Monitor Armada has reached another of the isolated Earths. Earth 12.
While Jensen Ackles did a stellar job as the Caped Crusader, we have to admit there's only one Batman who stands at the pinnacle. At the height of the crisis, we're given a brief glimpse at a familiar world before it's taken away, Earth 12. This was said to be Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman, and it was just as emotional as we'd expected. He comes face to face with who else? Mark Hamill as the Joker, as the world-ending threat looms ever closer.
I care, Joker. About Gotham. About justice.
You simply couldn't ask for a greater parting line from the man who personified the Dark Knight.
And if it has to end, at least I go out like this, being Batman.
Which Crisis on Infinite Earths moment blew your mind? Let us know in the comments below.
To die so that others may live is a magnificent act. A hero's death.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.